Alrighty, we are streaming again every day this week, starting around this time, 3:15 Eastern time, or thereabouts. Be sure to like the video, help spread the word, share it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Call your grandma, cat, dog, uncle, best friend, neighbor you don't like. Tell them you're watching the 5-Day Crypto live stream. They'll think you're batshit crazy. It's all right. We're all a little bit crazy. So let's start off. We'll just start it out here. We're waiting for the Ethereum ETF news, likely within the next 24 hours or so. Render leading the way today in the AI group, right? We got Fetch, Ajax, Ocean, all up. Render there with it. But Render's looking like it's testing these previous 3-week range highs after retesting the 21-week EMA at the 236 fib. Now, if we break out to new all-time highs again, $14 area, right? Our 1618 is near $23. So we're looking at over a 2x move until our next area of interest. And the 2618 at 50, the 3618 at 110. And if we're, golden goose, everything, planets aligning, dogs and cats living together, perhaps the 423 at 180 this cycle. Let's pump the brakes though and not get our FOMO hats on too hard. Somewhere between 50 and 100 seems more doable for market cap, but you never know. So that's kind of Render. Let's just wanted to cover that first. Let's go take a look at Fetch. Similar vibes here. Didn't even touch the 21 week. So that's how bullish Fetch is. After all this move down, went down just over 50% from highs to lows. Now back up. And we have just over 30% to get back to breakout levels. So similar things going with Fetch. Everything's looking good. This is how your chart should look, right? Zoomed out on the weekly. I mean, that's about as textbook bullish as you can get from the start of the bull run here. So if your charts aren't looking at least relatively similar to, Fetch and Render, right? Ask yourself, are you in the right coin? Maybe, maybe not. Appreciate it. Okay, 8:30 in the UK. That's why I kind of moved it up a little bit. Most of my subscribers are in America or UK, so I figured a little bit earlier time so you guys don't have to stay up till midnight. While I was biting my ankle. We can get to our requests. Okay, here comes the other dogs. So I don't know what we're gonna get into here. Dogs are now going crazy, running around me. Okay, we'll get to your requests. Why not starting now? All right, let's get to it. So Bitcoin and ETH kind of just stalled out, at least for now. Altcoins kind of taking off a little bit. So we'll see how. I think everyone's kind of waiting for the ETF, right? I think it's relatively priced in as well. I think yesterday kind of started to price ETF approval in. So even if we get approved, I think we'll see some kind of a rally, but probably not quite as strong, at least initially, out of ETH as maybe some expect. But let's get going. Juiced, what's up? What's up? Long time no text in the chat. PYR, we'll get to it. I said we were going to get to it. That was minutes ago. Let's actually get to it now. All right, PYR. Down about 5% today. Here's the weekly snapshot. We're now battling, previous kind of breakout here. Go look at the monthly. Look at the monthly shot. Range highs, resistance, breakout. Really should have held here. I would like to have seen that, right? Or a high close in the bear market. Kind of dipped down. So it's okay, right? This could be like a little deviation fake out, but it's got to recover like this week. Ideally, let's get back up to somewhere, just north of 5. Otherwise, we could kind of get trapped down here, right? Look at the long leg doji here, right? That just represents great indecision in the markets, whatever asset you're looking at. So bulls and bears really fighting that week. 40% to the downside. Looks like bears ended up winning on that battle, at least for now. Down 60. Let's go 60, almost 65% from high to low. That's about par for the course for some of these coins, but you just crossed your 8 over the 21 after just crossing up. That's not a good sign. That's kind of you know, you get moving down the line in your Ferrari and then you hit the wall a little bit here, right? So you can recover, but it's going to be more difficult now, right? Even on the weekly chart, you can see that, right? We're back below all moving averages. We're below our monthly breakout level. So hopefully, right, fingers crossed for the bulls here that this kind of move happens and we get kind of just pick back up here. If we stay down here more than, you know, a couple of weeks, right, the odds improve of it just getting kind of trapped down here. So I'd be aware of that. Go look at the daily chart. You're on now. You just crossed the 100-day, the blue line, under the 200 as well. That's also not a great sign. So we don't have a whole lot of things going for it here, at least on the short time frame. Right, it had a chance. Right, this was all good right here. Held the line into 200, but as of now, it's kind of fallen down the stairs a little bit. So I don't know if it's going to recover, but it doesn't look super promising just yet. I would give it another couple of weeks maybe to kind of see if it can complete something like this and kind of come back up here. But you'd want to see that, right? You don't want to kind of chop around here. It could just, you know, chop around for much longer than you would like. So forewarning on that one. Good request. Should have got a bigger cup. FLR. Try to get to all your requests today. We're doing this every day of the week. About the same time. Set your alarms. No one's doing that. Get real. Where am I at? FLR, right? I already had it on my list. Daily chart, battling the 200 EMA in the pink line, not the crayon yellow. Right, let's adjust this here. Lower highs from the peak to the low are down about 50%. That's normal. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit first. Let's go to the weekly, monthly. We don't have a whole lot of data to go off of here, but you're holding the EMA 8 on the monthly. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, we're looking there. You're under the 21 week, so this is already like a little bit. That's a bit of a warning, but you're still okay as long as you don't cross that 8 under that 21. Then you can get kind of landlocked down here. Let's see if we have a Gaussian channel yet. So we're still good here, right? Gaussian channel is good. 3-day. Trying to hold that median line at the 100 EMA there. Look at the 5-day. So ideally, right, if you want to maintain any kind of bullish momentum, you don't want to be touching back in here on this 5-day chart. So 2.5 cents, right? The swing lows. If we go back under there, you know, maybe if you want to buy here, that might be great. It might be like the nut bottom, right? But have a stop loss like under there, in my opinion, right? Not financial advice, but if I was getting into this now, my stop loss would bet your ass it'd be right under that. All right, so that is what we're looking for FLR. Anything for an old friend. Let's go look at Jasmine. Right here. All right, 2 cents. All right, looking good there. What happened back here? What did we draw? Like the kids got a hold of that chart. So boost up, juiced up, and no pun intended there, juiced. Holding high and tight. That's a good sign of strength, right? When you can make these kind of power moves and then kind of go sideways. Good. Often leads to continuation from the direction you came. So come up, likely it continues up. Got to close above this level, right? These high candles, and then you know the odds improve, right? When did the big candle start? Like when we broke out of the resistance, right? Break out of the resistance. There's the big move. Break out of the resistance. There's the big move. Very likely. All right, let's zoom back out here. 5-day, right? Look the weekly, looking good. Above all moving averages, perfect. Go way into the daily. So sideways chop leads to, you know, indecision in the Gaussian channel, and your moving average is relatively sideways here. That's all right. What I do like, right? See this like little curved bottom here. So we want to keep that going again. A lot of altcoins are looking very similar to this right now. So here's like your resistance zone in here, right? Again, get above 2.5 cents, and then I think, right, as long as certainly if you're maintaining this structure, right, where we're starting to make higher lows now after making lower lows, right? Looking good. Keep that rounded structure in through the rest of the month. And, you know, if we're flirting at range highs again, come like June 1st, early first week of June, good probability of another breakout. I like it. All right. GRT. How's everyone doing this fine morning and evening, afternoon, wherever the hell you are? All right, so daily chart, GRT, starting to get into the bullish territory per the Gaussian on the daily, but let's not get too hasty yet, right? We're just kind of underside retest. Look at this, right? You want to be aware of the flip levels. This is it. We're right there right now, right? Swing highs here, swing lows here. Support, turn to resistance, still resistance. So if we can close a couple candles here and flip this to support, or maybe even go up a little higher and then come back down and hold it, that would be a good sign of it's go time again. Right? A lot of altcoins are looking like they're, you know, the fuse is lit. It's just, are they going to be duds or are they actually ready to go this time? This is another good sign right here, holding the 200 EMA. Great. All right, let's zoom out. Let's go to the weekly. Above all moving averages, starting to curl up. Look at that, right? That's what you want to see. Good. Anything else? Holding the 21 week. I mean, all good signs here. 21 week EMA on the past month or so. Holding it perfect. GRT looking good. Above the Gaussian channel. Channel is green. Again, fuse is lit here. We just gotta go. I think where the bigger moves happen. I mean, look at this. Going all the way back to 2021 here. So we're just a 3-year resistance zone here. The bigger moves start to happen above, very likely 57 to 60 cents there. You can see that. Right, there's where the tires hook and you start to really cook down the freeway, so to speak. So looking at that structure-wise, looks great. Right, all since, the start of the bull market. I mean, structure has been great. There's a low, your high into resistance, previous swing highs from the bear market. Come back down, higher low, go back up, still resistance, big break. And you don't give that zone back. A lot of coins went back through here. That's a concern. This did not. This held the 21 week, looking good. So take it or leave it. This is a pretty good looking chart. I would give it an A rating. We've been doing A, B, and C ratings. And if it's a C, you got to see your way out of it. I don't make the rules. I do. I make those rules. All right. What's next? Good afternoon, Ninja. Good to see you. Still have no idea what any of you look like, actually, but I had a couple of you, maybe, that I've known for a while. Maybe I've seen your face, or at least the fake face you've shown me. In my opinion, do I think the bull run will be over late summer? Like this summer? No. What? No. I don't know why anybody would think that, but if Bitcoin was already at 100K or ETH was, 5-6K at all-time highs, then yeah, maybe we can see an argument for that. But I mean, we haven't even, and go look at our alt season index here, right? Let's just back this up and not just whistle, piss on your head and tell you it's raining. My favorite analogy ever. All right, so looking at not alt season, right? This is alt season index, which is, again, we've not even close. Go look at the alt year index, okay? And let's compare. Just be real quick, and then you'll start to see why we're not even close to being over with here yet. Right? Let's take a little gander at this. 2020, 2021, May of 2021, and then the final, like December of 2021. You get 3 peaks in like full-blown alt season, alt year, alt month, whatever you want to call it. The highest we've been this entire bull run is like 40. We have a long ways to go. We're just now doing the rounding, right? We're just rounding out of Bitcoin season. Don't be silly. Who the hell is saying that we're about to be over with is just, trying to fit their narrative, sell you something, right? There's nothing to really back that up, right? We haven't had any kind of miraculous, the retail's not even here yet. right? Maybe retail doesn't come. I can't imagine that, but I would think that retail is only going to show up usually once we've already all made 10x, and then they want a 10x on top of that 10x, which sometimes you can, but retail you can go look at like social metrics on chain, and it's like there's still not many people here. Like we're not close to ending a cycle. Now, do I think we could possibly still end in 2024, late 2024, maybe Q4? Perhaps, but we have to get going soon. So just my opinion on that. But if Bitcoin's still not even all-time highs in a month or two from now, then obviously it's going to take longer, right? Now, if alts get a kick in the ass like we just saw yesterday, and Ethereum does another 20% move, and then we're seeing Fetch and the AI coins start to go batshit crazy again. Okay, but Bitcoin dominance is going to have to top first. We haven't even sniffed at an alt season, right? Look at Bitcoin dominance here. And it doesn't look like a top is in, although possible. If the Ethereum ETF gets approved, right, we could argue that, swing lows equal new swing highs, and it might be over. But, when does alt season happen? It's, this area, right? Or even, we'll even take that. We've been doing jack shit, but going up. And if your alts have been doing good in this phase, imagine what happens to your alts if this phase comes again. I don't think it's going to be that significant, but I think we could for sure go down to like, mid 40s, and I think that would be fine, right? If we did something like that in the coming months, we're going to be beyond happy, right? Some altcoins have like over 10x'd as Bitcoin dominance is rising. It will be bonkers off the charts if we get another, tumble down the stairs out of Bitcoin dominance. That would be fun. Fun hasn't even started yet. Super chat, appreciate it. DP with £4.99. No one talks like that, do they? Only Americans trying to do their best to what they've seen in the movies. All right. You're welcome for the streams. Cheers. Tom from London. I recognize your avatar. Been here a couple times. I've been around for years. I think you've been around for years, right? Couple of quid. Lovely jubilee. All right. Let's get to that request real quick, and then we'll come back. So, SHX. Super chats just get all the attention, don't they? Appreciate it. Let's get going to SHX. Do we have... Let's get out of the Gaussian channel. We don't need that skewing our numbers up here. Hang on. We'll just. All right. Remove our drawings. Let's start fresh. Right. So if your coin looks like this and there's no prior history, then you get kind of a pass because you didn't go through a cycle before. If you went through all at least 2021 and you're still looking like this, then you're in a spot of bother, as Christopher Robin says. I think that's accurate. Who has a 2-year-old? My kids are a little bit older now. We don't watch Christopher Robin no more. So when can we start to gain traction? What the hell happened to this candle? I would like to know what is going on here. Let's see what our little warning is. I don't know what the are we looking at this right? All right. Yeah, I recognize you. Appreciate the 3-year follow, sir. So at least a nice recovery. This seems like a news event driven scenario to me. If we have a better exchange for SHX, let's try this one. Doesn't seem to help much. We do have a little bit more history though. You start with this on a daily. No. So I would love to have more history here, but I just don't see it. Let's adjust here. A lot of volatility in the past several days. So something's afoot here. I can't. I don't know what. Bit true. Okay. Right. Is that not what we're at? Do I have anything else down here? How about BitGet? Bybit? That should work. I'm just checking there we go. That looks better. Holy hell. Thank God. All right. Now let's get to the weekly chart. What the hell was the other shit? What happened? Is this better? Good Lord. Yeah, we'll get to all your requests. Don't panic. 27 people here. Appreciate all of you. Just have patience. We're trying to sort this out. If this is the chart, then we'll just get going. Okay. Okay, looks better. Okay, good. Good Lord. Need to save this one. If you, remind me next time if you request this again to look at Bybit. This looks great. Okay, so initial highs in 2022, right? Resistance again, 2024, breakthrough. So now we're in response to this breakout. We're doing a throwback. So this is fine. This is still bullish as long as you remain above this level. We do not want to go back below the 50-week EMA by any means possible, right? We don't want to do that. So that's where I would start to sound the alarm bell. So we shouldn't be doing that. We're trying to hold the EMA 34 the past month, but we're also, we just rejected this week off of the 21 EMA. We got to get back there. You do not want to cross that red EMA 8 under that 21, right? Good things happen when you cross it either way, right? Good things there, bad things here, right? Look at that, right? EMA 8 crosses the 21, it's bad. You can use this on the 4-hour chart. It works well. Go look at any coin. Go look at Bitcoin. Anybody that has rallies or downfalls, it's like almost right when the EMA 8 crosses the 21 to either side, right? Look at the bullish stuff starting to happen as the EMA, the red line, crosses the yellow. It's like right here. And look at that. Look what came next. And look at this, right? We crossed here. Look what came next. Right? It's like, it's pretty simple. It's about as simple as you can get, right? And so where's do or die time. This is why I'm saying this, right? It's got to hold here and not go any lower, or that 21 EMA is going to cross under, or the 8 is going to cross under the 21, right? So hold the line at $2 and start to move up again, and this will avert, right? I'll give it another month, and we sure as shit better be above 250. And speaking of that, right, these swing lows, look at all these wicks. So clear 250. That's your only mission, right? STX, your mission, should you choose to accept it, get above 250, or trouble awaits. All right, so hopefully that's clear as mud. Gaussian channel's way the hell down here. You're still good on that. Let's look at the daily. Gaussian channel, we're still under it, so you can see why it's kind of struggling right now. It's battling the 200 EMA on the daily. At the same time, we're red on the Gaussian, so this is it. This is the line, right? We cannot go back lower. So I would put like a potential stop loss like under that, like 185. Just me. But that's that. Hopefully that helps. All right, let's go back up. Read some more in the chats. 36 people here. Did y'all tuning in? We do this every day during the week, about the same time, 3:15 Eastern time. Join us for more if you missed any part of this, or another day that works better for you. I get it's an odd time for everybody, so this is seemingly working the best for most. All right. Request for Floki. If I missed your request, just type it again. If I ignore it twice, I don't like you. Or I don't like the coin. It's probably not either, but probably just missed it again. All right, let's get to Floki. On the daily, above the Gaussian channel, looking good. Came back down to the 100 EMA, right? Previous consolidation right there. Little jib jab. Let's call it jib jab, right? You held that support. Previous kind of hesitation, held here, right? That's good. Gaussian channel red, moving averages starting to curl up. That's a good sign. Let's look at the weekly. Above all moving averages, hell yeah. Gaussian channel's green there. Flip it back to just prices. A lot of coins looking pretty bullish right now. They should be going, right? A lot of setups that we've looked at, even in the past, like just today, many coins are looking like their fuses are lit and they're ready to go again. We don't know if this is going to be duds, because like the facts are the facts. We're still not at all-time highs, and we could, in fact, take many weeks longer. We could be in this scenario where we're getting ready to do that and then consolidate more. We could be in this scenario where we're actually getting ready to, 4x in a week. Holy hell. Floki has no chill during some weeks, right? But the bigger moves, obviously the next major move, I would guess, is going to happen just like we did here. You can even go back to the start of late 2023 when the move started, right? We consolidated there and then broke out, consolidated, above here, right? As soon as we break that, look at the move, right? Break all-time highs. You can take this back. Like, it's not just that, right? Look at that. Going all the way back here, right? Why did you get the bigger move? Because everyone had open orders in right here to trigger buy, and that's what happens. You can just get this kind of waterfall effect, or anti-gravity waterfall. We could go with that. Just melts up. So I would guess when we get above the 30,000 level again, we're going to probably see something like that, or a close above 27,250, right? That's what we're all waiting on. Tag off to 21. Now you can meme it all you want, but this is a pretty great structure. This has better structure than, multi-billion-dollar white paper glossiness, right? Some of the best projects in the world don't have charts that look this good. So you can disregard memes all you want, but the money is here and the structure is there as well. Holding the 21-week EMA, blast off likely occurs again above that level. So looking good. Keep them simple. Simpler you can make your charts, the better, right? You don't need to draw 47 indicators or oscillators on top of all your charts. Just keep them clean. Simplest is best. Just like your Lambos. How stupid are Lambos when you have like 78 stickers on them, or your cars that are, it's dumb. Just simple, clean cars. Looking the best. Simple, clean charts. Easiest to translate, right? All right. AVAX. Good request. Haven't had that one in a while. All right, AVAX looking kind of similar to several coins that are trying to gain their traction again, holding this. This looks actually very similar to Chainlink, right? Let's go look at, I think I have Chainlink right up here. Come right back, but look, burn this into your memory. Now look at Chainlink. Very similar. Okay, now we'll go back to AVAX. So if you start, just look at charts all day, like you're going to start to piece together certain ones, and that can be helpful. Because if you see some that look very similar in patterns, and you let's say AVAX starts to take off here, then guess who's right behind? If the charts look the same, they're probably going to do the same. So if AVAX starts to blast up and Link is lagging behind, Link's probably next in line. Just like we looked at last week when we looked at Pepe, inverse head and shoulders, and then we looked at Near, where the charts look identical, and guess what happened just like a day or two after Pepe went? Near went. Right? Similar charts. You want to start to familiarize yourself with charts as much as possible. Look at charts, study them, burn them in your memory, and then you can start to piece the puzzles together. And if you missed one move, right, you're like, oh, well, that chart is the same as the other one. So if AVAX goes, I would guess that Chainlink is not too far behind. So that's what we're looking for. We're now flirting with closing above all moving averages. Same time, you've held down here for this is months. These are weekly candles. Months of testing range lows around the $30 level and holding. Now moving back up again. This is definitely where you would cut your losses, right? Anywhere below 30, that shouldn't be doing that. But the breakouts above 60, right? Absolutely. And if we zoom out here, right, you can see our bull market, early bear market, right? Swing lows, 65, 67 is new bull market swing highs. Swing lows, swing highs. Where do you think the bigger move starts to happen for AVAX? I would bet AVAX goes from 70 to 120, 130 pretty quickly. Kind of like this move. But we got to get up there first. We're still a good bit away, ways away, 60%. And then, we're about 3x, just over 3x away from all-time highs. But I think that, 60% will lead to an additional 200% pretty quickly here. Okay, so keep that in mind. Looking good, right? Just patience with a lot of these. This is a good looking chart, though. It's better than most. You're above the 100 week. You're above all moving averages, of course. So I'll I would probably give it an A minus though, not a full on A, because you're still kind of battling. You're way above here, but I obviously like to see it, not in this testing range lows still. So I'd like, if it gets up to 60 here in the next handful of weeks, then we can upgrade him to the A chart, and he's still up there. He's still better than most. So good looking on AVAX. Okay. All right, weekly chart. Wow, look at that. Look at that formation. That's pretty great. Okay, so great looking chart again. I guess you could paint the zone as that. Look at the build up, right? And we're talking about these rounded patterns all throughout this stream. Like some of these coins are having mini versions of this. You break out, bullish retest is called a throwback after you break a key level, right? All-time highs. You're almost always going to come back and test the range here. We did, right? And you held the 21 week. Great sign. And now we're just consolidating, likely before the next bigger move. So we could go down a little bit more first, around this 4,000 mark, 3,500. I would like stop loss right under here, under this zone right here. If we're to go down there, I doubt it. Right, that's too far down. But we could. It's relatively new, so if we go down a little bit further, I wouldn't panic too much. If we close under the 21 week, that would start to worry me. But I don't think that's the odds, right? I think a lot of coins are actually, fuses are lit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we started even like, I wouldn't even want to draw it like that. I would almost like V-shape it here. I think it could easily do that with this kind of formation here. Right, that looks great. Even closing prices there. I mean, that looks pretty bull flaggy to me. Right, that's the word of the day, bull flaggy. Right, I mean, absolutely. So good structure here. Looking good. Don't see anything to really care too much about for the bear side. Structurally looks great. See the Gaussian channel. Okay, we're still well above it. 3-day, we're right on it. So there you go. Look at that. Ideally, you don't want to go below it, but I would stick to like the 5-day, right? If we go below it, it's not like a deal breaker on a 3-day or the daily. But swing lows at 4,300 or so. The 5-day you shouldn't be touching again, right? You're running out of time here. Look how much that's going up. Right, so maybe another month you could kind of chop around here or go down a little bit more and then come back up. Alrighty. In car and streaming. That sounds dangerous. BitTrue, we can do that. Catching up to all the chat. I didn't realize there's been so many messages below. I didn't scroll down. All right. All right, let's get to it. The 2 T's? No? Well, let's see, which one do we want to use here? Another shake of the dice. All right. Weekly. Gaussian channel. That's a little concerning, right? I mean, if you've watched me at all, right, I don't like this. Right? If it's in the weekly Gaussian channel after going above it, that's a telltale sign that weakness is rampant. Go with like, I don't know if you could argue double top, but I mean, it did take out these lows, right? Took out the lows. Now holding that as resistance. Not looking good. Gaussian channel weekly is now back entering. You don't want to do that. Bollinger Band, you're at swing low there. Let's see. Let's kind of look at the indicators here. Pretty weak. Well, looks like the Fisher's trying to close the gap here. Probably still a couple weeks though, at earliest, before we can see anything major big out of this, but this is just not what you want to see on a chart where it's like still battling underneath like 20 bear market highs. These 2023, the rally, like we're still below that. We're under the 200 week. That's bearish. We're still down over 90% from not even all-time highs, but from the end of the last cycle high. So a little bit of a slower mover here. I would probably chalk this under the C chart. Just took out lows again. You're now back to where you were in October, really. So I don't get the warm and fuzzies that that's going to do super well this cycle. I would put this, coins look like this. I would highly doubt that they're going to get back to all-time highs just based on the past year, right? You have to do another 11x to get to all-time highs. And it's I mean, from the start of this run, but really we can't cherry pick. Like here's January, here's the start of the run we can go to the low wick. We're only up 75%. From the start of this bull run. Many coins are up, 7,000%. There's several. 7,000. That's not an error. Many coins up 7,000% since that wick. Keep that in mind, right? Slower ponies will likely continue to be slow. They won't all do that, but the vast majority, if they've been slow so far, they're going to remain there. All right. Bro, did I chart a whole coin for nobody? I think I did an in-depth review of STX and nobody wanted that one. Where you said STX. SHX. Let's go back and do it again. This time for the right one. No, this is it. So is the chart. This is all I got to go on. Unless we got a different one. SHX. That's where we got into. We went down too far. SHX, this is it. I got nothing else. That's even worse. SHX. Let's try this one. Okay, we'll have to go with this one. All right, Gaussian channel, green. We're good there. Let's take that off. That. SHX. So we're above all moving averages. Still looking okay there. What else do we see? The range highs pivoted, right? Held. It's what you want to do, right? Some coins didn't do that during this fall down, so that's a good sign. Move down was almost 70%. That's quite a bit. Let's see. We're battling highs from January 2022. That's still okay. Summer 2022 is where you want to be above, right? Many coins are still below this area, so to keep that in mind. So we're looking much better than that. Again, another kind of breakout. Bullish retest back to the 21 week, holding that. That's great. That's what you want to see. And now we're back above all moving averages. 3-day chart, still above all moving averages. Looks good there. Right? Look at these patterns. Right? We start to round the corner. Right? Looking good. Breakout above, the 14 there. That'll be good. Let's look at the daily. Just a little bit of a battle here, but you could see lower highs. I'm trying to, right? It just looks like more indecisive here on closing prices. All right, so then you got these levels, right? You got to take out 1. There's 2. Those are pretty close. You can paint that as a zone. You can do this whole thing as a zone if you really want, but pretty big zone. Let's look at, so that's a 30% from these highs to all-time highs. So that's your steps to climb up the ladder there. Yeah, this is a little bit more difficult to kind of see any kind of structure here. I would start to get concerned if we go back under the 100, right? I would kind of set your alert there. 7 mark there. We don't want to do that. Got to go higher, right? The higher time frame looks better. Immediately, you can see these moving averages start to round out too, right? You want to your coins are likely going to go where your moving averages are starting to show, right? So if they're going sideways, that's the odds of continuation, like sideways for weeks, right? This is a weekly chart. Start to curl up. Well, guess what? You're gaining momentum. Yeah, so that's what we want to see. We've seen some coins that we've looked at today that are starting to really like pull up again, like this kind of move. That's what you want to see. And then you want to see separation where you get these massive moves. See the gaps in here? You want to be looking at. All right. I think that's the right coin now. All right, 40 minutes in. Let's keep going. SUI. All right, weekly snapshot below the 21 week. Below our kind of opening candles here. Tap off the 50 week that just came in, right? Same lows, retest range lows. We got to get back above the 21 week, right? That's also these previous range highs. Like to have, ideally, we wanted to hold that level, right? When we came back down here. Down 60%. All right. We really got about 15% we got to make up here. Moving averages, we have no momentum, or excuse me, indicators. Slightly, if I could click on it, slightly bearish still here on ADX, right? We just crossed bearish, and we're not very strong on that. So ideally, when your ADX is above 25, that's more power. See that? MACD's trying to maybe turn the corner here. MACD's momentum based, so you want to see that continue whichever direction. You see how it starts to turn the lighter shade of pink there. Dark bearish, so it's maybe trying to turn the corner to back to the bull side, but RSI is in the bearish territory. You can think of RSI as like bearish or bullish by which side of the fence he's on. Fence is usually around the 50 mark, and you can use this for great examples on Bitcoin on the weekly. Go check that out. But anytime you're over here, right, that's a sign of weakness by definition, really. And couple that with no momentum, it's like you're weak and you're on the couch, right? How impressive are you going to be? All right, so we can get there, but we got to make a move sooner than later. $1.30 before I would get too excited about this one. Got another one? You psycho. Thanks, DP. Appreciate you. ETN, Super Chat, Rockstar. All right, we'll get to some of your requests, but for now, DP has spoken. It's ETN. All right, let's go with that. It's like rolling the dice on some of these exchanges, how the charts are going to look. Okay, we're good. All right, this is the right one now, right? You didn't dyslexia me again, did you? The weekly chart from 2021 top. Look at that scam pump, exit pump. Somebody propped that one up. You can do prop bids. Still down 90%. Damn, look at that. That's definitely a prop bid on some exchange. Someone got out and wasn't paying attention. All right, so move down from the highs. 61%. That's about average. Again, looking similar to the chart we just looked at, but we'll give this one a slightly better rating because it's still kind of above these ranges, but this needs to hold. Absolutely. If we go back below this wick, if we go lower, any lower, I would probably exit here. So I would put my stop loss like maybe the 2,800 mark, right below that low wick, the 28.25. So yeah, if we go like 27.93, right, something random like that for a stop loss, unless you got in like way the hell down here, right? Then whatever. But this has got to hold, right? Structurally, this is the level. There's nothing better than here. You are in danger of crossing 8/21, right? 8/21. When you do that, bulls start happening, bears start happening when you cross to the downside. So if we don't make a move soon, the next couple of weeks, this is at risk of being one of these numbers, right? Where you just like keep hoping and it just doesn't do it, right? It just could take months to get anything going if we don't move soon. So I'd just be cautious of that. Let's look at the Gaussian. We're now back in the weekly Gaussian, right? So it's kind of like a trap. But we can get out of it. It's got to go now, like this week or next, right? Or like the bad stuff starts to get worse. Let's look at the 5-day. Still in it. 3-day. Can we get out of the 3-day? No, we're still in there. It's looking worse now, right? Usually when you cross these lines, if you break into the top line, you're likely going to the median line. If you break the median line, you're likely going to the bottom line. So it doesn't mean it has to go immediately, but you can imagine a world where, a couple of weeks go by and starts to rise up and we just kind of trend sideways and we potentially fall out there, or maybe that holds and then we start to pick back up. But either way, like, do you want to stay at this level for the next 2 months? That's kind of the risk we're starting to get into right here. Gaussian channel daily under the red, under almost all moving averages. Gaussian channel is red. So like I said, it's got to go pretty soon, or it runs the risk of becoming a C chart pretty quick. Ready? Not a stream without Chainlink. I mean, that's no truer words have ever been spoken on that. All right, let's go back up. I got to get to some more requests up here. Synapse, good request by George. I know George has some Synapse. I got some Synapse. So let's start off with the weekly here. Synapse was looking great back during February, March, right? Even October, right? These are great moves. But as of late, it's definitely not been fun at the party, right? It's like the guy that got too drunk at the party is great up until it's too much, right? 600%, that's a good rally. But we're still down. We're still feel like we're going down here. 60%. Median line down at 64 cents. I feel like I would load up more there. That's kind of back to these range lows, and we could kind of, I don't know if we get down that low. Obviously, alt's gotta go pretty soon here. Look at the 8 and the 21. But this absolutely needs to hold right here. So yeah, I bought some Synapse up in this area. I really thought it was gonna go hold here, right? And it was a really good performer. So yeah, I bought a little bit higher around the 90-cent mark, dollar mark. And I still have pretty high conviction on how this is gonna do for later, but can't ignore this double top here, $1.50. It's hard to imagine anything, super bullish happening until we clear 150. And we're under the 21 week, and we still have we got 15-20% to get us back out of the kind of bearish side of things where we started to really get our trouble, right? Is where we got into the Gaussian channel at the same time the 21 week was broken. So more of a sideways coin, more patience for now. Then maybe we pick back up again, right? 50% move in a week is good, right? That's 80% in 2 weeks. That's what we need. There's actually much more than that. But still, range highs, resistance. Gaussian channel's green, but if we come back down, I'd be looking to load more here, and then probably a stop loss under that if we were to hit down much lower. Is certainly for the buys that I'm making on here. Now, long term, I think we're still good, but right, risk reward ratio is what you want. Daily chart, we're underneath all moving averages, sideways. Here's our support zone, though, right? Look how long the consolidation was. So this area should hold. If it doesn't, right, that would definitely be more concerning. If we break 66 cents, right? So let's pay attention here over the next couple days and weeks out of Synapse. Weekly chart. Let's go look at the monthly. Just real quick snapshot thing we got here. So when we close the month in 9 days, let's just shoot for the top of the Gaussian at 83 cents. That would be okay. That's just like kind of an indecisive candle. Then let's open up green and maybe close June back up to range highs again. All right. Why do I sip water like coffee? I don't know. Okay, I saw something. Trying to look here. Rune. Okay, there we go. Let's zoom it out. Gaussian channel's good. We're above all the moving averages. Check there. You're above 2022 highs. Check there. So looking like a chart right here. What I would watch out for, and some coins got this potential playing out here, right? If we don't get an altcoin boom, some of these coins are, potentially forming this kind of move. So neckline would be down here around $4. You'd want to be careful of this. Where we could invalidate, all you got to do is just go above 9, and then that's null and void, or even really like 8, right? You don't want to have too lopsided shoulders here. So I'd be watching for that for the bear side. For the bull side, I mean, again, just take out 9. Let's scroll out here. 9 to 11. Right, look at the high wick, right at the high close. That. So that's going to be our new bullish breakthrough zone right there. I don't know why that line got so damn thick. Went to 4 points for some reason. Let's go. Here we go. Okay, so from $9 to $11 is going to be our resistance zone. After 11, I would say all-time highs come pretty quick. But we're kind of just been chopping around since the better part of 2023, which kind of this kind of looks similar to Injective a little bit, where it made a high in December and then came back and made a higher high in March, and now it went back below the 21 week, and it's kind of battling that right now. So it looks similar to Injective here. Again, watch out for that potential pattern. You don't want to judge patterns too much too quickly, but just have them in the back of your mind. You start to go down here again in like say July 1st, and you're back at 450 after like kind of rounding this out, looking like this. That could be troublesome. But I would guess the entire market is in big trouble if it's doing that, right? Otherwise, I would just focus on the $9 area, 11, and then, game on again. Bro, do I have to kick you? You got 7 requests in 10 seconds or what? Let's not be that guy. Or girl. Eric could be a girl, right? He could have left off the A. A daily driver for 50K. I only have 50K. It has to be, I have to drive it every day, and it has to cost 50K or less. What would I pick? Good question. Probably a used Tesla. Minimal maintenance. If I had to not pick an electric car, we'll go with that, because I feel like that's not a real car to some people. The golf cart. 50K. Get back to you. I'll think about it for the rest of the stream. I'll get back to you before we get out of here. Let's see. Eric is in timeout for a minute. DXY, good request, Juiced. Let's see. Okay. DXY, it's way the hell up here. I got it. DXY. Sideways chop action. Weeklies. Gaussian channels just turned green. We're looking for a lower high still here, but looking at also higher lows. So it's a little confusing, right? We're getting mixed signals here. We're above the 200 week, so that's relatively bullish, but I feel like if the government doesn't know what to do, DXY is obviously right there as well. But I mean, the Gaussian channel is green, but we're still in here. So until we get up here and green, I wouldn't be too concerned with this going off the rails. But we definitely want to pay attention to this more or less. But it's starting to decouple a little bit from crypto and other markets, if you haven't noticed that already. A good one to watch that's like a counter trend move, Justy, if you haven't been watching any of my videos, is Tether dominance, right? Because as this goes down, right, this is a better indicator for when we're getting bigger moves. Tether dominance is in a bear market for the first time ever. It's under the 200 week, and we just bounced in the downtrend, right? You can see that, right? So anytime we're getting this bounce, right, crypto's on pause, and then crypto's gold, right? I mean, think about this from January 2024 to March of 2024. How great was crypto doing, right? And then we got this bounce in March, and then to late April, and now look how much better crypto's doing again, right? Because starting in May, we started going up again. This starts to fall, right? This is people in stables and exiting stables, going back to risk on. The massive moves in crypto start to happen once USDT tether dominance breaks 4%. And I think that's coming, right? So take it off a log scale, and you can see this kind of rising trend line goes back 2016. Like, so, and you could argue, like, why we just bounced off of it? Why wouldn't we bounce off of it again? Well, we were not in the same spots that we were back in this area. We're above the 200-week in an uptrend. Gaussian channel is green like the entire damn time, right? Holding all moving averages, bull market. We're not there now. We're in a bear market, right? Tether dominance is in a bear market, and I suspect that we're going to get a breach of 4% in the not so distant future, the next couple of months, and that's when alt season hits hard, and to the moon, smiles for days. You smile and laugh in your sleep, right? That's what happens there. Did you ever do that last cycle? I did. It was happy dreams last cycle. Okay, so not to detract from your DXY request any all, but you want to be adding tether dominance to your watch list if you don't already. So I wouldn't be concerned with DXY until we get above 106 again. Now that could happen next week. It might not ever happen, right? So just watch for that 106 level weekly scale, or right 103.8. Break through that, and then we're Valhalla bound, right? Certainly, if we breach the 100, which we've been looking at for years, we've been trying to break the 100 mark for years. I was hoping we were going to do it back here. All right. Yeah. Expectations for render and fetch for NVIDIA earnings? Yeah, higher. I would expect those to kind of rally off of that. Is that today or tomorrow? NVIDIA, I think it's today, right? Is it now? Did I miss it? I mean, render is up. Fetch and render, the AI sector is up. I don't know if that's an anticipation, or I know the NVIDIA earnings are today. I think it's today or tomorrow. I think the Ethereum ETF deadline's tomorrow, right? I'm getting those confused a little bit. All right. Going down. Sleeper, large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Well, it's hard to have a sleeper large cap, isn't it? I mean, I don't even know if I could say. How about all these? Everybody heard of all these? GFI, Synapse, NFP. I mean, these are kind of mid caps, right? I would say from Synapse down. Not Pepe. Pepe's 5 billion now, I think. But these would be like kind of my top kind of sleeper picks that maybe not many people know about. GFI kind of just made my list. I don't know if that's even a sleeper, but and the chart looks really good, right? Someone requested that in, I think, my Telegram group. So kudos, who you are. I forgot your name, but I probably know you, so apologies. But just the chart looks really good, right? Then Synapse, kind of a sleeper pick, even though it's kind of a sleep right now. And then the rest of these are too young to even have a chart. But those would be my kind of my 4 with like super young. I probably in order. I'd probably go like that. NFP, PHB. I think that's my order of my holdings. Largest to smallest. Not in Pepe. So we can remove that, right? But I just added Pepe because we get that requested like every stream, and it's been going off the hook lately. So glad you asked. Yeah, it's a standard EMA ribbon. But here's a tip for you. If you're ever like watching someone's stream, namely only mine, right? You can go to what is called the source code. You want to know like exactly what they're using, and this should pop up. So you can see this down at the bottom, hopefully, in your screen. I don't know if it comes up, but EMA ribbon. It's by Crypt, KRYPT, by FSK, it's that one. And then you just go in, right, you can move that back. You don't need that back now. And then go in here, go to your settings. Then here's my settings, so you can pause this and watch this stream back later, right? I'm not going to bore you, but here's my colors, right? MA1, 2, 3, 4, and then like what the hell does that mean? Well, for 8, 14, 21, 34, 50, 100, 200, that's what I use. Everything else should default. I do like making the lines a little bit thicker. That's, I think, the only thing I changed, but everything else should be kind of straight away. And it also defaults to like a 600. I just chose to not see that one. So you can just uncheck the ones you don't want. You don't have to. You can use 2 moving average or up to 8 moving averages if you want. So that helps somebody out there, namely the guy that asked for it. Let's see what else. Let's check on Bitcoin. Back under 70K again. It's been flirting with it, so pretty calm. AI sector's up, but that's likely because Nvidia. EP, making it rain. Amazing. Thank you, sir. IOTA. I remember IOTA from I used to watch a guy, I can't even think of his name anymore, back in like 2018 on YouTube. He kind of got me into IOTA a little bit. I had some, I don't have any more. At least I don't think. It's probably in a lost wallet if I do have some, but that's funny you say that. You requested that. I've been in IOTA for 5 years, 6 years now. If I think of his name, I'll say it. I don't think he makes videos anymore. He was a good guy. He was calling me. He made videos like he walked in the woods. As strange as that seems, maybe some of you might know who I'm talking about. He got pretty big. He had pillows on the back on his couch with Bitcoin like hand sewn on them. Can't think of his name. I wish someone would get it in here. Get the chat. No, he was relatively small. He wasn't like a huge YouTuber, but I remember him. He was the first guy I ever heard talk about IOTA, and I did a deep dive on it. I kind of liked it, but all right, that's neither here nor there. Weekly, Gaussian channel flirting with deep mud here, right underneath the moving averages, underneath the 200 week. Just rejected 3 out of 4 weeks. Rejected off the 200 week. Not looking great, right? Not much of a rally. 2023 starts here, and we're only up 35%. Again, 35% better than Matic, but that's not. There's our Matic joke for the day. Finally, we got that out of the way. But damn, yeah. Went off on a good run, but sadly still way down. I don't have high hopes for this again. Usually it's one and done, but look how well it did back in 2018. Like, this is when I was starting to look at it. I think it was actually just before this. Made a little bit on it, but I don't think I held any last cycle, or if I did, like I said, it's in a lost wallet somewhere. But doesn't look structurally great, right? Up only 35% on the entire bull run. Certainly better looking coins. As nostalgic as IOTA was when I read your request, probably not the best one to be riding it into the alt season. Can't think of his name. It was his name. The guy we're talking about. I think it was his name. He's like I think he's from Europe, UK. Short haircut. I think his hair was about like mine, really. Didn't have spiked up. It was just Lewis something. Maybe Lewis. Does that make it? Nobody knows. I think he stopped making videos last cycle. Either got rich or lost it all. Maybe both. All right, we've done Jasmy. Eric, you're out of timeout now with your 78 requests. Jasmy, we did. I can do. I can do one of your. We can go look at it. I feel like I did this one too, didn't I? Maybe not. I mean, this chart looks great. I think we did it maybe last stream. PNG powerhouse move, 350% in a week. Holy hell! Right, making higher highs. I mean, it's hard to argue anything bearish here. The Gaussian channel is light years down here. Take that off. Let's put this back on linear scale or log scale rather. Yeah, it even looks great on log scale. I mean, it's looking at a breakout right now as we speak this week. And you know, look at what happened last time. We got our breakout of previous resistance, right? Nice strong candle, just subtly, 4.5x per week, not bad. And as long as Bitcoin behaves, right? I mean, this might be one of the first movers we get, right? I would go the resistance zones there, and we're kind of breaking out right now. So good request by 78 spam request, Eric. You redeemed a little bit on this request. That looks like one of the better charts we've seen today. Daily, yep. I mean, looks good even on the short time frame. So even if you want to get greedy and say like, let's move our resistance zone up here, it's still on a boil here. But I would go like, let's close above that candle before we get ultra excited. 63 cents. But also like, what if you wait for the close and you get a ultra pump, right? We could get that again. Looks good. Eric left. He put an 18 request and then left. All right. Been going over an hour. I think this is our longest one. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll do this again tomorrow. Kind of wrap it up there. Hopefully you learned a lot or something. Or at least you got to stare at a neon Chainlink sign for a while. Appreciate the super chat out of DP for the 3. Making it rain. Rockstar move there, bud. I think I got all from you, of course, right? DP is just bagaholic over there. All right. Oh, 50K car. Holy shit, Theodore. I would have been pissed. I would have thought of it later. The 50K car. Damn. Racking my brain here. Can it be used, or is that I mean, if it's new or used, that makes a big difference. Like I could just get a 10-year-old Rolls Royce or something. But the trick is, right, you have to keep it, right? That's the trick. I wouldn't want a Rolls Royce for life. This shit will break down tomorrow. I'd say for nostalgic reasons, my dad used to have a Corvette, so I'd probably get a 1996 Corvette LT4. That surprised somebody. Yeah, I'd probably go with that if I had to get that. I think you could probably get those for like 20, 30K. Not very practical for a family. So the family probably wouldn't like that. But for the 2-door sports car, I'd go with that. For the 4-door, I'd probably go like 50K. I would go. Okay, I think I could get a 2014 2014 S63 AMG. I think I can get one for under 50. Right on it. Probably have to be high mileage though. If not that, then like the non-AMG version, even though that would be dull and boring. All right, good request. I like talking about cars, if you haven't been able to tell. Thank you for everyone left after that. All right, so there's my 2. Yeah, that's a hard question. Good question, though. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow if you got time. I got the time if you got the time. You did the crime. I'll watch you do the crime. I'm not doing it with you. All right.